Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Gamer Dad channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So there is something that I wanted to highlight in today's video, and I strongly think we ought to consider this for future purposes. You see, in the past, the Division content has been really inconsistent in the way that it's been dropping. And I think overall, the best set of content that we've gotten in the game is Warlords of New York in terms of an additional DLC, legendary missions, a few additions, and then the seasons that followed where we were able to get new gear, new brand sets, new weapons that we had to work towards. To me, I think that is, in my opinion, representative of what content can look like in the Division. Now, Summit was a good attempt. I wouldn't take it away from the developers to actually bring something that looked like Underground, but I think it would have been much better if they had just said, here's Underground. It would have made sense. You keep going in underground levels. If they wanted to do the level 100 thing, you could have been able to do that. Maybe you just have this whole underground network system that you're building. They could have imported ideas from the Division 1 assets, all of that. I think that could have really worked, not only in the sense of, Underground being better than Summit. Nostalgia is a real big thing. One of the best things that a lot of video games thrive from is the fact that they can incite that nostalgia in their player base. And so that's something that could have worked, but that's a whole different topic. But there is a content piece from Season 1. Remember Season 1 or Year 1 DLC that was actually quite bereft of content. There were a few things that were given to us. One of them were these so-called classified assignment missions. I think there were like 4 or 5 of them across the map. And once you had the Year 1 content, those were what these were. They just basically gave you these missions. They're across the map somewhere. Here's one of them here that's marked in, is it blue or whatever the color is? And, everybody was able to go ahead and do those missions. They were kind of cool, but that was it. And the missions, what's even worse, is they were timed. Once you beat it, you had to kind of wait for it to reset again. I think that's still the same rotation that it's on. So already that was a problem. Another one was the field research. If you already had the Season 1 pass, you didn't have to do the field research to unlock your specialization, for you to be able to then level up the specialization. But if you didn't have the Year 1 pass, then you had to do the field research. Now, I remember when this came out in the Division 2's early phase, I made a video saying I didn't think that the field research could be content. This was something that came out, I think, in the summer of 2019 or somewhere like that. I can't even remember. And, I got a lot of feedback from the community, and some people said, it's content. I guess it's something that people can do. And, the developers kind of got a free pass on that and went that way. In this video, I'm not going to let them get that free pass. I mean, I'm still going to go ahead and talk about why I felt like it was such a bad idea. Now, this is my PlayStation character, and, I'm doing my field research for getting my firewall specialization. I just recently got my gunner. Shout out to the LCN clan and all of the guys, Ant and Nino and G, that, decided that we were going to go ahead and just sit there and do this stupid mission to try to take out this boss, which is Basilisk. So if you watch this video footage that I have here on the screen, you're going to see that there is, a specific task you have to do. This boss here in Roosevelt Island with the outcast, you have to take off his armor and then kill him with his armor, chunked off. So you got to carefully peel off his entire armor and then do that. Here's the problem. Since the time that this particular task was given to us, as players, we have gotten way stronger. So we got to play this guy and try to destroy him for, in my opinion anyways, over 30 minutes. We were trying to take off this guy's armor without killing him. And we ended up killing him many, many times. It was insane. We just have way too much damage for something like this. So in my opinion, I felt like this should have been something that was just based on a commendation of some kind, which apparently there is a commendation for it. But to be honest, it did not need to be a requirement that held you back from specific aspects of you leveling up your character and enjoying the power aspect of the game. This enemy NPC to me became a pain because there are enemy NPCs that are in this game that are supposed to be, terrible, that you can, that you have to deal with. But, for you to be able to come to Roosevelt Island, a mission that, we don't necessarily play on this difficulty anymore, and try to do this was actually a problem. So this highlighted a big issue. Whenever the developers are doing things like these that would actually tie into the game's progression and your power progression, they need to make sure that it's a realistic task, and it's a task that you as a player will not get frustrated with. Because if you play it on hard, he doesn't have enough health. If you play it on challenging, he still doesn't have enough health. If you play it on heroic, if you die, you have to restart the mission all over again. And in this case, whenever we would take him out, whenever we would try to, peel off his armor, and if he didn't die or whatever, we would have to basically just, throw a grenade on ourselves and then go back and restart the arena again in order for us to be able to get, the boss fight once again. And so I strongly believe that this is something that needs to be, looked at very carefully, because the alternative to this, and this was a very huge, in my opinion, I thought this was a money grab. And I remember saying it at that time that I was not necessarily a fan of what the devs had actually tried to do with this. And that money grab, was very prevalent in this. They really did show their hand that, they wanted to just go ahead and give you very minimal. And this was, I think, a big problem. It resonated within the Division community. I don't want to, bring up old wounds, but it's just the reality. It's just the truth. A lot of people were not necessarily fans of the fact that Season 1 content was quite weak in terms of what it is that they dropped. I guess Warlords of New York kind of made up for it, but I think they could have gone a whole different way in doing this. Now, do you know that the alternative in not doing this is actually to buying the Season 1 pass? But I've said to myself that I'm not going to buy another Season 1 pass here, because I've already purchased, I think, enough in my time playing the Division. Yes, I'm a Division content creator. It does, provide me a little bit of, compensation, and it shouldn't be a heavy cost. But again, when you think about it from another player's perspective who may have bought the base game, you've locked out a specialization for them that they could actually use to level up their character and become more powerful. So again, like I said, content needs to be very clearly defined in this game, and we shouldn't just take minimal game modes, that really come into it's weird in my opinion. I think things could be done better. If you think about the Division 1, even though we didn't have a lot of content pieces, I think they did a good job in the way that they dropped their survival and their underground and even Last Stand. There was a lot of very good delivery in the Division 1's DLCs. In the Division 2's DLCs, what we're having is just this weird identity crisis. If I look at this, like my firewall specialization right now, I'm on stage 4, but I can't even put it on. And that's something that's, very interesting to me, unless I have the season pass. Now, let me show you where it is. I have to go here. I have to go to the store. And then I have to go to, where is that stuff? Yeah, premium credits or something of that nature. Yeah, specializations. Like for me to be able to unlock these specializations, like firewall, I have to basically just buy this particular, it's included in a year 1 bundle, and 1,000 premium credits. Let me see, how do you buy it? Yeah, 1,000 premium credits is $19.99. Ain't that crazy? Isn't that something that's just something that is asinine in my opinion. So Ubisoft Massive, y'all need to go ahead and focus on how you deliver content that's not going to look like a cash grab. This was definitely a poor choice, and whoever made this decision, don't make it again, because I will literally make like 400 videos basically saying how bad and terrible this is. I made one video in the time that this came out, but I thought, there's no need for me to start harping on this stuff right now. But I did voice my concern, and I thought that this was not something that needed to be done. So I hope the developers, and I would say let's just give the benefit of the doubt for this incident, but I'm hoping that the developers are paying attention as to the feedback, because this is the time where players that are more dedicated are actually getting more and more engaged into the game, trying to pick off all those little commendations, trying to get a second character on a whole different console, because you purchase this game, you purchase a DLC on a whole different console, and then you have to go spend another $20 on that. I mean, $20 is Street Fighter V Championship Edition, which is, I could basically give money to Capcom for that. And that's another game that I actually do like. I don't know how to play it, but I'm interested in playing it. For those of you who've said you're going to teach me Street Fighter, I apologize for not being available yet, but hopefully we'll be able to get to grind that game soon. But again, this is something that I want to highlight. I appreciate you guys so much for watching the video. Let me hear your thoughts and feedback. There is a lot in this game. I get it. They probably tried to keep the game engaging for a long period of time, but I think they probably overdid it with the grindiness. And then that particular shortcut being for sale, is just a little weird in my opinion. If they had allowed everybody to, basically grind through that, then I think, okay, that would have been a fair way to go, because now everyone is on the ropes for actually trying to do something like that. All right, I'll get out of your hair. Thanks so much for watching the video. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm going to go farm some shade level XP with this character. Hopefully by the time you see me next, I'm already on a whole different level, maybe at 1,000. Who knows? Peace out.